Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be talking about getting rejected by agents. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Video is, it's probably going to be a little bit random and a little bit all over the place, but I'm going to try to be as concise as possible. So, querying. Querying, it's gonna be one of the hardest things ever after finishing your novel, of course, and yeah, it's a process, and you have to keep in mind that you're going to be rejected, and it's pretty much what everyone says. Every other author, agent, anyone is going to tell you that you're going to get rejected. Everyone gets rejected, and that's a normal thing, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Actually, it sucks. So I'm going to share a little bit of my experience on the matter. I wrote a novel about 2 years ago. Actually, I finished writing that novel about 2 years ago, and I was really proud of it. It was paranormal, and that sucks because, paranormal isn't that popular anymore. It was, but it's not anymore. But I was still very proud of my characters. I really liked my setting, I really liked my story, my plot. I loved it. I loved that novel. I still do, and I was just so excited. I wanted to share it with the world. I couldn't wait to start querying, and I gotta say that querying, like really writing a good query letter, it's one of the hardest things. I wrote about 8 different queries, and sadly none of them were that amazing. I didn't realize it at the time, but now I do. And anyway, actually writing the synopsis was awful. It was really bad, but anyway, I did my homework. I created this list, like this curated list of agents that I wanted to query to, and I found that it was a really fun thing to do, just querying. I found it very exciting, very I don't know, just I really liked it. Anyway, I was already ready to get my heart broken, or so I thought, because again, rejection happens, and it happens to everyone, and you just can't help it. And it was hard, though. It was still really hard. I think that every one of the people I queried replied. I'm not exactly sure, but I think all of them did. And actually, it's funny because when I thought it was all over, I still got like 2 more rejections, like about a year and a half after I queried. So that was fun. But yeah, anyway. Okay, the first times that I started getting replies, and they were all negative. They pretty much tell you the same, by the way, like, oh, thank you very much for contacting us, thank you very much for being interested in working with me and all of that, but your work just isn't what we're looking for right now. And actually a lot of agents told me that they couldn't really connect to my main character, and I thought that it was odd, not because they were lying, but I think it wasn't just like this very personal, answer or reply to my email. It was just more like this, standard rejection letter. And because at first I was really worried that, my character just wasn't interesting, or like really, I don't know, like it wasn't just well done, but maybe again it was just, the usual answer they give you. Maybe some of them were truly honest about it, but maybe some of them, like, it was just their way of saying thank you, but no thank you, I'm not really that interested. And I queried about 120 agents. Like, I really believed in my work, and I just really wanted to give it its best shot. So that's why I continue querying, and I continue looking for new agents and stuff like that, but all of them just rejected me, obviously. That novel wasn't published, and it really broke my heart, because it was something that I just put a lot of energy in it, and I spent over 4 years writing it, first in Spanish, my first language, and it took me a while. Obviously 3 years is a while, and then it took me another year to translate it. And I could make a whole other video on why I'm writing in another language that isn't my own. Yeah, but yeah, maybe we'll see. But anyway, that's what I really want. That's my dream, that's my wish, and that's what I'm working on. I really want to learn how to write in English, and I want to be a published author. And it's been really hard, honestly, but it's been worth it, I think. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I really loved my characters, I loved my setting, like I said, and I believed in that novel with my whole heart, and it was so hard that no one else believed in it but me. And it really hurts your ego, whether you want it or not. And I spent a lot of time on Twitter, and it was making it better, but it was also making it worse. I follow a lot of agents and authors and stuff like that on Twitter, and I don't know, I was also following a lot of hashtags, like, you know, I'm quoting hashtag and all of that. And a lot of people were saying, oh, this agent solicited my full manuscript and stuff like that, and I was jealous, to be honest. But you know, I just kept waiting. I just knew that someone was going to be interested, but after a while, after a few months, I knew that every email that I continued receiving was going to be a rejection email, and it was. And again, I created about 120 agents, so you know, getting rejected about 120 times, it's pretty hard. And I took it the best way I could, but I was still a little bit salty, you know. I thought that my novel was amazing and that it was going to be a bestseller, maybe. And I actually kind of wanted to self-publish. I kind of tried, and by that I mean that I tried to rewrite some of the chapters that I had, but I just ended up abandoning it because I wanted to start something new. Not because I stopped loving that novel, but because I really, you know, I still wanted to get traditionally published. And when I just thought about trying to self-publish, I knew that it wasn't really what I wanted. But you know, you have to move on, and I try to convince myself to do it because I do want to be a published author. I want to work with an agent, and it doesn't matter how hard it gets, I still do. It's my dream, and I will continue working on it, but still hard, you know, especially when you really loved so much what you were working on and when you really believed in it. So I decided to go back to my last novel and reread what I had done, so I could remind myself that I could actually write, you know, whenever I felt like I couldn't, and that I was a failure, whatever, you know, usual thoughts of a writer. And yeah, I went back to my last novel to not be inspired by my own old work. But that's when I found out why I got rejected, and I actually tried to read my query again, and it was awful. It was all over the place. It had no context whatsoever, and that's the thing, because I was so into my novel and I knew it so well. I thought that I was doing a good job, and I had it reviewed and everything, but still, you know, it's still very hard. And yeah, it was really difficult to read it again and realize how poorly I had, you know, done. And yeah, that's when I realized why I had been rejected. And when I tried to read again my novel, I realized how many mistakes I had made. It was so weird, and it really showed that it was my first novel, even though I actually thought that I had done a better job. I didn't. And it was funny, and it was sad. But yeah, I realized why I had been rejected. And you know, it just isn't because, you know, the agents hate you or they just want to hate your work. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I really hope that this video made any sense at all, and if not, I'm really sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye.